Twindustry Secrets sounds pretty good.
Twindustry Secrets, I like that.
Yeah. I mean, but it could be any industry. It could be like packaged goods, heavy metals. We're here with Maya from Me.Music.
Hi.
Hi, Maya.
Hi. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
Maya's from Chicago.
I am from Chicago.
We're originally from Illinois as well, but down the Mississippi, where Quincy is across from Hannibal. We're from Quincy, Illinois.
Yeah, Hannibal, Missouri, which is Missouri, which is where Mark Twain wrote his best novels.
That's right.
Amazing.
Indeed.
You can visit Tom Sawyer's cave.
You can.
Joel's still got the ticket
I have
from
the ticket.
Yeah. It's sticking on his...
I'm going back.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So that's cool. Chicago, hey? We have some family there. So
Yeah.
So are you... Your music company's based there?
No, so I mean, I guess technically maybe it's technically based everywhere. You know, the little online remote thing.
Omnipresent.
Omnipresent, exactly.
Yeah.
I like that word. Effervescent. You know, we are technically, I guess you could say, based in New York. I do a lot of business out here. My business partner ERICKA Harris, who is not here today, but hopefully she'll be here on a future episode.
Right. Erica's from Nashville.
She's from Chicago as well. So,
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting it all wrong, Jason.
I'm sorry. Well, that's why we're doing this podcast.
We're also just
we're
meeting
learning
today
about
as
you.
We're
well.
learning things about Maya.
We know
and
nothing
Erica.
about Maya other
Zero.
than she does good work in the music industry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No.
So how did the company start in Chicago?
Well, it's actually kind of. So it's funny. Eric and I go way back. We met in middle school band.
Wow.
We both play flute.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
All
classically trained flautist
Killer.
in here.
Flautist.
Yeah, not flutist.
Yeah.
There's a difference, you know. And so we both graduated high school and we realized we want to work in the music industry, but we had two different approaches to it. So she went to the best music business school in the country, and like I was telling her, I went to Fordham at Lincoln Center, which is not the best.
Jesuit school.
Jesuit school, Ad Majorem Dei Gloriam people.
I got into Fordham, but I didn't go.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think you.
It was all Jesuit
did
schools
great.
because we went to a Jesuit all boys high school.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, prep school, like very much like Dead Poets Society kind of shit.
Yeah, very much.
So I got into there. I got into Fairfield. It was another Jesuit school.
Big fucking deal, Jason. Anyway, we're talking about...
No, I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious because, like,
enough.
I like. It's so funny because I had no idea what Jesuit even meant,
Yeah.
and like this is gonna sound extremely.
Man for others,
get the
man.
best education.
Well, yeah, and so like I went there because like I was like, okay, Alvin Ailey, because I
Yeah,
dance
totally,
as
yeah.
well.
Right. Yeah.
But I realized very quickly they had no music industry program, and the only even music production course they had was at their Rose Hill campus in the Bronx, and I was not taking that bumpy ram band over there to learn how to produce music. So I was like, I'm going to make the city of New York my campus, and I'll just intern as many places as I can.
That's amazing.
And so I probably had like 8 internships when I was
incredible.
in college. At one point, my senior year, I was actually co-managing Grammy award-winning music producers with a woman named Laura Jones. Thank you for taking me under your wing. I love you, Laura.
That's awesome.
And I was also interning at Columbia Records in the A&R department, which is a story. And I was also in the work study program at Alvin Ailey, while also being the vice president of this company called the New York Daily Weed Report, which some random guy asked me to run.
That sounds pretty cool.
Passion.
Yeah, pre-legalization. But yeah, all of that stuff kind of came together after I was at Atlantic Records. So I was the first Black woman in history to be in the pop rock A&R department at Atlantic Records.
Killer.
Awesome.
Thank you. Also kind of concerning. It was 2021.
It is
concerning, actually.
It is concerning.
And so that concern, coupled with a lot of other concerns that I just kind of had after being in the music industry for a bit, kind of started this business. So at least that happened. I feel like it kind of...
You got something out of it.
Exactly. And I was really reflecting on that the other day, because I feel like if you would have asked me like 5 years ago, I would have had a very different response to this. But this whole business was based on the fact that we really want to provide accessibility to people so that before I die, it's as easy to work in the music industry as it is to become a dentist or something like that.
That would be amazing. That's a
incredible.
fucking awesome goal.
There is like
That's
really,
awesome
it's a hard road to travel because the road's really not paved.
Yeah.
Right.
No, at all.
It's completely a confusing.
And also, I mean, like you're talking
mess.
about pop and rock A&R. I mean, I would imagine that people of color were interested in like hip hop. Is that what it was? It was a genre-specific thing?
Well, it's actually funny you say that because rock obviously has its roots in Black culture. Also does country. So it's very sad that it's like you have... And it's interesting because at Atlantic Records, they have pop rock, and then they have what they call a Black music department.
Yeah,
and
I've always hated that word.
I'm always confused by that because even when I was there were Black artists on the pop rock roster, like Wiz Khalifa and Raven Lenae, which is odd because it's like those aren't rock or pop acts.
Right, totally.
And then, so it just was like, why not just hip hop and R&B and then pop and rock?
Or they use the word urban, which is also
differently
kind of
behind different.
I'm sorry?
Is it just different categories because of like where it's marketed, or different resources given to those different categories, or
maybe it's based on the amount of records they sell.
I don't know. That's a good question, man.
Yeah.
You know, let's dig into that a little bit someday.
Yeah, we will. That's a good point. So that was a little wake up call for you.
Yeah, it was extremely. Being in the music industry and this business again, it like developed because I feel like a lot of people look at the music industry as this very elusive place. There's a lot of like
some
corrupt.
Island.
Yeah, some island. Like you don't really know what's going on.
Hard to get to. Hard to navigate once you're there.
Exactly, and you just hear cool stuff that comes out of it, but then like no one knows how to get in there, and then when you are in there, it's like who can I trust? Like it's crazy. And so I turned all of those experiences, and I was like, okay, like how can I make lemonade out of lemons, as Beyonce said years ago, you know? And when I was at Atlantic Records, I realized that they had a very strong need for songs there, even more so than they had a need for new artists, at least in their A&R department.
Yeah, that's what A&R really is at the end of the day, is selecting repertoire.
Exactly.
Artists and repertoire. You have the artist, and then what should they actually perform? It doesn't mean that you're selecting it for them. It just means like, hey, what I used to do is, basically tab a bunch of songs. And at the end of the day, if they didn't want to necessarily cover somebody else's work, I at least have them co-write with them.
Yeah.
I'm like, they did something really advanced and amazing, and like maybe you guys should collaborate.
That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Like fostering collaborations where possible, because that's how better music gets made.
Agreed.
Yeah, you don't do it in a closet on your own.
Exactly. No. And so it was funny because like the first song that I ever pitched got sent to get cut by 2 different artists, then Pete Gambark sat me down. He's like, "Where'd you get this song?" And I was like, and like respectfully, I was just like, I just went outside of the 10 people you guys talk to all the time. And I just meant, I mean that respectfully, because I understand like as an institution, like Atlantic Records, if they're like, we're taking unsolicited songs from the public, it would just not.
You get thousands of pieces of garbage.
I get this demo tape. It's only on metal cassettes. Don't,
no, that's, we used to say that, like, let's send us metal cassettes, 90-minute tapes.
So we can use them again.
Yeah, so we'd use them again.
Yeah. Don't take off the copyright, the overrate protection.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's incredible, though. I mean, so you're able to tap into this world that's actually beyond sight of like the people in the towers. Pretty much.
Existing there, but you just people hadn't touched it.
Yeah. Right. So it was nice. It was a nice aha moment for me because I was like, okay, cool. So like clearly there's a need for songs that you all have. You trust my ear. That's nice. And like you don't have the capacity to allow yourselves to be as accessible as I would like you to be, but I do. So I'm going to allow the public to send me songs. I'll vet them for you, so you won't have to waste your time, and I'll only send you the good ones. And then everyone else who doesn't get their songs cut and recorded, I will provide resources for you to be able to develop your music so you can get to the point where this could potentially be something you can do.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Because I feel like at the end of the day, it's like we don't have to compromise quality just to be more accessible. Like
you can,
and there's more abundance for everybody when we all can like accept that if we're all doing our jobs correctly, we can all rotate up and down the Billboard Hot 100. It doesn't have to be like a fight.
There shouldn't be gatekeepers necessarily for creative. I mean, there has to be as far as vetting and stuff, but like as far as who gets the cut, it's what's the best song.
Exactly.
Right?
Like vetting is different than saying you can't be in this industry because I don't like you and you didn't put in the 20 years that I did.
But there are politics involved. I mean, certainly there are politics involved that people, can piss somebody off who doesn't want to work with them at the end of the day, or there's some songwriter who doesn't like another songwriter.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of babysitting going on and a lot of like pulling apart of like the kids. You guys play nice. I've had a lot of politics that I've had to deal with in my life that had nothing to do with the creative process.
How did you go about circumventing that?
Being, again, an A&R person is somebody who is a good politician at the end of the day and trying to get the best art out of somebody. So if it wasn't working, we'd just break them apart and be like, okay, either you do this on your own or you collaborate with somebody else that's actually going to help you achieve your vision. But in 90% of the time, I would never take outside songs. I would use those outside songs as demos to say, oh my God, these people are incredible writers, or this person's an incredible writer. Let's get them in the room.
Yeah.
Because most of my artists actually wrote. So having the opportunity to collaborate with another writer to make something completely objective for their project that wasn't just like trying to ram like a square peg into a round hole where you're like, but the thing about songs is great songs transcend production.
Yes.
So like you could find a great song that's like, I could hear it as a house song, I could hear it as a country song, I could hear it as an R&B song. Like, it's got a great hook, a great message, it's saying something important, those are the songs that I care about, and those are the writers that I care about.
Right,
absolutely. You know, I'm in the food business. At the end of the day, I want things that are sustainable and that are nurturing and wholesome, and lyrics are saying something really important. And you know, sugar is something that burns really bright, and it's like Katy Perry fireworks. Not to diss the song, but it is like fireworks. It's just like boom, and then it's gone. So. Yeah, I don't know. Great songwriting transcends production, in my opinion. It has to.
Yeah, I truly agree, because I think production, like, it's so funny because I was managing producers for a while,
right.
So I was like training myself to like listen to like what makes the production of this like amazing, and I have some favorite producers of mine, but it was interesting. This is going to be kind of off topic, but not really. Baby Tate has a song called Grip.
Okay.
And I listened to it, and it's just barely a beat.
Yeah.
And she's just spitting. And I was like, this is how you know it's a good song. There's hardly any production on this at all whatsoever.
Acapellas can do that too.
Yes, exactly. Same thing with acapellas. Right now, 16 Carriages, Beyonce, that is proof right there that Beyonce sounds good on every genre.
There you go.
You know, like, because 16 Carriages comes out, it's country. I just did a mashup to that.
Oh, you did?
It's coming out soon.
Amazing.
Yeah, and like, you know, the Maxwell mashup that everyone is hearing right now, the Fortunate Carriages thing, like, you know, that's how you know. You take the acapella, and it's like, it stands out on its own.
Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
So, in like a sentence, what does Me.Music do?
So in a sentence,
Or not in a sentence, but
well, you know, I mean, more than a sentence.
Compactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. What's your elevator pitch?
Yeah,
like, what do you guys?
You know, what do you guys do? Like, so
I looked at the website. It was really impressive.
You guys work with songs, or I mean, is it specifically like, or do you have like a writers that you work with, or do you have producers that you work with? You mentioned you were previously managing producers and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it's so funny how Me.Music developed, because I was actually managing quite a bit of art. So once the pandemic hit 2020, I started taking on clients on my own. So separated, not really separated, but just kind of like on my own, took on some clients, managed an artist. That was just a whole experience. And I'm grateful for it, because I learned how to do a lot of things that you typically hire other people to do, like a press run, and you end up getting like 15 different features for your artist. And like a debut feature in Ear Milk, and you do it by yourself, and you're like, okay, cool, like I can maybe do this kind of thing. But you know, I expanded and was doing that for like a lot of people, but it just got to a point where I'm like, I want to be able to help people as much as I can, but I can't do it in this way. Like my capacity is just not there. And so what Me.Music is, I guess you can say, is an exclusively inclusive music group, exhaustive of song plugging services, events, and our new platform that we've just launched called MeMusic.meet. So MeMusic.meet is the launching pad of an app that is actually in the process of being developed. We're talking to investors at the moment about it. So right now it's a Discord server, but essentially the purpose is to literally have like every single music industry, whether related job or piece of education or resource, just in one place. Like obviously you have Instagram, you have Twitter, you have LinkedIn, but like it should not be as hard
it's really
as
disparate.
It is.
It's really disparate.
Yeah.
You got to look at like 10 different things.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly. And it's so interesting because, you know, I have other collaborators within the industry. There are other song pluggers who have come up to me like, oh, do you know anyone who wants to write music for the Olympics? Like, you can't find that opportunity anywhere online.
Not at all.
So I put it in the Discord.
Put it on Craigslist.
Yeah, exactly. So
think of the wacky shit you would get from that.
Maybe you get like the best thing ever, you know?
Yeah, you might. I doubt it though.
100% royalties. You know?
Yeah.
That's incredible though. That's awesome.
Wow.
Thank you. Also, super side note, didn't the Lumineers get founded like on Craigslist? I'm pretty sure they founded
I have no idea.
Looking for drummer, like,
I think they
can you
did.
blast? Must have van.
Must have van. Must have
professional
a
attitude.
must have your own PA system.
PA plus.
Rehearse in your mom's basement.
Yeah.
So that's pretty
Basement
hot.
of
So
plus.
like you're how do you get people to send you tunes and stuff? Like you must be inundated with a lot of music.
Yeah. And, you know, right now it's very much a place where we're at where we're like, we need to put systems in place so that we can handle the volume that we're getting. Because another thing that we always pride ourselves in is listening to every song. Maybe not the whole song, but like we listen to every song to at least decide, like, is this worth pitching? You know what I mean? As it stands. And I'm actually really curious about you both, because I know you have Sync Tank. I was like reading about that. And I was like, I need to ask how that was developed, because I may need assistance.
Question.
I mean, it's a long, it was born out of
story.
frustration.
It was born out of frustration with us using spreadsheets and iTunes.
We were computer hackers. So we used to do a lot of illegal shit until we were 18.
Fun.
And this was when there were like 1,200 baud modems, and you know we were dialing into stuff and playing Telnet,
like war games and stuff.
Doing some really weird shit. So we were looking at one day at all the stacks of CDs of all the songs that we had that were part of our library, and we had spreadsheets to show what the splits were. You know, who wrote them, what publishing company it was with, which PRO affiliation, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, et cetera, PRS, SOCAN, whatever. And Joel's like, there's got to be a better way. So
I just needed to show myself and other people like what we had.
Yeah.
Because like I was the biggest like barrier to selling.
Yeah,
it's like I'm like, how do I actually get out of my own way and get out of this chair and go have more meetings?
That's really smart.
So it was like, okay, I just have to make it visible because we have a vast and valuable catalog, but I'm unable to get that across because at the time it was like MySpace and you're using You Send It.
Yeah.
Or something like, or like FileZilla.
We're using multiple file sharing programs.
It just was lame.
There was no standard.
There was no really way to boost our brand, you know. So we were sending out these links and drawing people all over to different places on the internet, rather than to our home base where they could see.
Yeah,
the entire
it wasn't
story.
centralized.
Interesting.
And then we put in like, you know, ways to understand if they opened or clicked through, what they listened to, what they didn't listen to. Do I call this person? Do I call that person? Do I focus on this person versus that person? Do I corner this person?
Yeah.
At the next,
How many?
Yeah.
Of the,
Do I
how
run
much
up
of the
on this
rights-
person?
Yeah, who
Yeah.
cares about me versus like, am I just pitching blindly and wildly to everybody, right?
Right.
And but you know, it became cared about pretty quickly, and we, you know, got like Primary Wave, Reservoir,
nice.
Disney, Royalty Network, and Buddha Music, like right away, just completely, really cool people.
No, I mean, it's funny.
And,
we were actually looking for a new deal for our publishing company, and people
Yeah.
were like, "Your publishing
just-
company's cool, but what's the software?"
Yeah, what's the software?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No,
oh,
yeah, I remember
you
y'all
like the
talking
candy
about
bar
that.
wrapper I made? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So
Oh.
it was sort of like an afterthought, but that became a really successful business, and it was born out of this out of the Earth program. So
That's amazing.
You know,
Yeah.
we sort of do everything here, from music distribution to, you know, consulting to
Yeah.
people
Music
that
publishing,
that,
tech-
make
tech
music or
services.
want to work with tech or whatever it is. We kind of
A great question.
I'm like always like dreaming about what the future is, but I've never actually, you know, what we've been doing is every year Mike writes down these intentions.
Oh, I
and
love that.
Yeah.
And so far every one of them's come true.
Yeah.
Manifesting.
We don't look at it. We don't even look at it.
them.
That's how it
They're
works.
just like written down over there somewhere, and like
That's how it works.
yeah, and we're like, oh shit, that happened. That one happened too. That one happened too.
Yeah, or it exceeded our expectations.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So you know, if you focus on the negative, that's all you get.
Exactly.
100%.
Whatever
And
you.
if you focus on resentment, you leave no room for creativity.
Sing it,
Attention
Joel.
goes,
Say it,
energy
baby.
flows.
Ain't nothing to it but to do
You
it.
got to make room for everything, and like
Vibe
you know,
high.
yeah, exactly. And so like you know, making room for other people, you got to you know have room for yourself first. And,
Yes.
You know, take care of yourself. Put your own
Mask
air mask
on.
on first, exactly, and then help everybody else.
Yes, I 100% agree. The last question, we don't have to do it, but it was like, do we want to play that game?
Oh, you got to explain the game to Joel, and I think we should probably try to do this first.
Yes, you should. Okay.
that?
So I watched these people on YouTube play this game, right?
You can't
it's
say
it's
a
called
word.
it's called How Long Can You Go? So basically, it's can you talk about a subject that's given to you
Right, without
for a
saying
minute
no.
straight
Oh, I can't
without
do that.
hesitating,
No.
deviating, or
No.
going off topic?
No, I can't
well,
do
yeah,
that
hesitating
because I
deviating.
forget the
Yeah.
topic the second you've mentioned it.
Oh, okay.
Like this, I was
Oh,
telling
repeating yourself,
I,
sorry.
no, I repeat myself all the time. I can't do this game. Did you try?
No.
Okay, no, I
No,
couldn't do
I
this.
don't
My
even-
my friends last night were like, "Hey, would you?" One of my friends is a soccer ref, and I was like, "How do you do that, man? The second I see something, I question what I see." Yeah. You know, like, I'm like, "Did that just
You
happen?"
gaslight
Questioning
yourself?
reality. Did that just
Gaslighting
happen?
yourself?
Did something just run across the floor?
Who's riding this bicycle? You know, like, that kind of
I've
stuff.
done that when I'm
Yeah.
driving. I'm like, who's driving this car? I'm driving the car.
I'm driving the
Joel, you're in charge.
You're
You
in
know,
charge. Yeah, like
exactly.
panic while I'm driving.
But that's a good trick, and that would really stress me out.
Should we flip a coin?
The
and
reason
see?
I've never been at the podium, like presenting like the software and doing that stuff, is exactly for that reason.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a good public speaker, despite the fact that I give great meetings.
You have this whole podcast. You guys have
This is
whole-
not public speaking. This is me talking to you.
Yeah.
So like me talking to 100 people, I'd be like,
fair.
you know. So when I'm on a panel, I'm like gripping the mic, like,
Oh no!
you know.
I am
so
an expert.
I need to go to Toastmasters.
I'm an expert.
I'm an expert.
I know what I'm talking about. I'll go to Toastmasters.
Does anybody like AI?
Yeah,
Is it-
make a
that was another conversation.
make a script I can stick to. Just tattoo it on the back of my hand. But no, I was at an AI thing at UCLA like 2 weeks ago that I was speaking at, and I'm like, first of all, I'm not an AI expert. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
found out nobody on the
Joel
panel.
did a
was.
crash
one on the
course in
panel was
AI,
like-
though.
Nobody on the panel was either. It was just like for props, and you know, like,
just for
we were
props.
like we were like all like I don't know. What do you think?
We're
I
all
don't know.
speculating.
We're all
We're all
speculating and stuff.
speculating.
And I'm like actually trying to learn about this shit like 5 minutes before.
No, you were Joel for like 2 weeks. He's like
I actually
sending
prepared.
me WhatsApp messages of just like
What
all
is
this
AI?
shit on
all these
AI.
notes about like AI because I really like I like to know what I'm talking about. I feel like when people just talk about stuff they don't know what they're talking about, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's
But
like,
if they can talk for a minute without hesitation,
It doesn't matter what they're talking
It doesn't
about.
matter. They just like they
Really?
sound
Yes.
authoritative.
but wait,
It's just
that's
for
like
the
Trump's
gag.
trick,
Yes.
just talk exhaustively
Yes.
about
It's- no,
fucking
it's just-
garbage.
It doesn't
word
have to
vomit.
be anything of
Oh,
substance.
just like logorrhea.
Yeah, like okay. Someone give me a topic. It's gonna and we'll do it. I'll go
Oh my
first.
God.
Volunteers tribute, and it has to be something that I at least know about.
Do you know
to
anything
some
about
extent.
surfing?
Okay, I can do
this
that.
is 1 minute, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's 1 minute?
Yeah, it's 1 minute.
Okay.
You got to show the.
Or I don't know. Let's do something. I don't know. Whatever you want to talk
You said
about.
surfing?
I don't know. Surfing's cool.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No, but let's go.
Are
Yeah.
you sure?
All right, turn the thing over.
Surfing is my topic that I am going to discuss.
Oh, you can talk
for
slowly.
one
Blow through
Oh
it.
wow.
minute.
Okay.
And I would argue, pause, that this is not slow. I'm going off topic because I'm going to have to start this over.
Okay, no,
I
you're
talk,
good. You're good.
we're
This
gonna have to
counts.
start- But yeah, I talk really fast, so this is my time to talk like a normal human. Surfing is a sport that is very enjoyable for a lot of people. It involves very simply two objects, a board and some water. The
Yes.
water being the ocean. I know that typically, from what I can gather, surfing outside of the ocean is not typically feasible due to the tides that are required to catch those big waves, as I've been told. Strictly focus on surfing, and it was predominantly for white people because a lot of people didn't necessarily have access to those. Everyone can surf.
Yeah, that's,
That's
like a
definitely
longer. That's
longer
longer
than
than
a
a
Did a really good job. Yeah.
I mean, that was awesome. Congratulations.
I wouldn't have been able to do that. I would have been I would have said surfing and then surfing again. Immediately repeated myself. So
This is my useless talent.
that was a really good.
That was great.
And
was great.
my daughter has this other game that she plays where she keeps asking you questions, you can't say no.
Really?
Yeah, but I ruled that.
I find
I ruled that.
Jason was like, I don't.
I know. I just completely was thoughtful about
blanked out.
I was thoughtful about what I said. I'm like,
Yep.
no,
Really?
yeah. No, but it was you can't say like.
You can't say like.
You can't say
that's
like, and I'm
awesome.
like, I'm not going to use like.
No,
Like,
and I completely was able to do it.
yeah,
You
I did
were.
it for
Yes.
5 minutes. She's like, you're no fun.
You know.
I'm like, man, it's just like me being mindful of what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and like,
Like
burped in the mic.
what? No.
well, thank you
should
so
we go
much
get
for
smoothies and
yeah,
like,
let's go get
wrap this
Yeah.
up.
Thank
It
you
was
so
great
much.
meeting you.
That's great meeting
Thanks
you
for
as
coming.
well.
Yeah, this
Sure,
was
we're
a
gonna
lot
work
of fun.
together.
Yes.
And follow MeMusic at MeMusic.com.
Or MeMusic.group.
Oh, well, not
MeMusic.
MeMusic.com. MeMusic.group.
MeMusic.group.
And earthprogram at earthprogram.com.
Yes.
And give us a subscribe and a like and give us a comment down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Cool.
I
Thanks for coming
appreciate
through,
it.